Imagine sitting in a classroom. Your teacher is explaining an important topic, but within seconds your mind drifts away. You notice the fan spinning, someone tapping a pencil, a bird outside the window, and suddenly you've forgotten what the teacher just said. Now imagine this happens every single day, not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because your brain is wired differently. For millions of people around the world, this is reality. It's called Attention Deficit/Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD. But here's something that surprises many people. ADHD isn't simply a problem with paying attention. In fact, the ADHD brain often pays attention to too many things at once. The real challenge is deciding what deserves attention and what should be ignored. So what actually makes an ADHD brain different? Is it smaller? Is it damaged? Or is it simply built in another way? Today, we're taking a scientific journey inside the human brain to discover the fascinating neurological differences behind ADHD and why understanding these differences can completely change the way we think about this condition. What is ADHD? ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder. This means the brain develops differently from an early age. It affects children, teenagers, and adults. Although symptoms often begin before the age of 12, many people aren't diagnosed until adulthood. There are three main types of ADHD. The first is predominantly inattentive type, where people struggle to focus, organize tasks, remember instructions, and finish work. The second is predominantly hyperactive impulsive type, where excessive movement, restlessness, and impulsive actions are the dominant symptoms. The third is combined type, which includes characteristics of both. According to global studies, ADHD affects roughly 5–7% of children and around 2–5% of adults. But ADHD isn't caused by poor parenting, excessive sugar, or spending too much time on screens. The real story begins inside the brain itself. The prefrontal cortex, the brain's CEO. If your brain were a company, one department would act as the CEO. This is the prefrontal cortex, located just behind your forehead. Its job is incredibly important. It helps you plan ahead, make decisions, control impulses, focus attention, manage emotions, organize information, and solve problems. Scientists using MRI scans have discovered that in many people with ADHD, the prefrontal cortex develops more slowly than average. Research suggests this delay can be around 2 to 3 years in certain aspects of brain maturation, although development eventually catches up for many individuals. This doesn't mean the brain is damaged. It simply follows a different developmental timeline. Because this region isn't regulating attention as efficiently, distractions become much more powerful. Imagine trying to read a book while someone constantly changes the television channel every few seconds. That's similar to what the ADHD brain experiences internally. The CEO is still working, but it's receiving too many competing messages at once. Dopamine, the motivation chemical. Now let's meet one of the brain's most important chemical messengers, dopamine. Many people call dopamine the feel-good chemical, but that's only part of the story. Its bigger role is motivation. It helps your brain decide this task is worth doing. It drives curiosity, learning, reward, and persistence. In ADHD, dopamine signaling doesn't work as efficiently. The brain often needs stronger stimulation before it feels motivated enough to begin a task. That's why someone with ADHD might struggle to start homework, but spend 4 hours intensely focused on building a computer, creating digital art, coding a game, or playing chess. This isn't laziness, it's called interest-based attention. The ADHD brain pays attention exceptionally well when something is exciting, urgent, novel, or emotionally meaningful. Scientists call this state hyperfocus. Ironically, someone diagnosed with an attention disorder may become so focused that they completely lose track of time. Hours disappear without noticing. So ADHD isn't always about not paying attention. It's often about having difficulty controlling where attention goes. The attention networks. Your brain contains several communication networks working together. Two of the most important are the executive control network and the default mode network. The executive control network activates when you're solving math problems, reading textbooks, or concentrating on work. The default mode network becomes active when your mind wanders, daydreams, or reflects on memories. Normally, these networks take turns. When one switches on, the other quiets down. But brain imaging studies show that in ADHD, this switching process is less efficient. Sometimes the default mode network remains active even while someone is trying to concentrate. This creates unwanted thoughts, random memories, internal conversations, new ideas, and constant mental interruptions. It's almost like trying to watch an educational documentary while another movie keeps playing in the background. The result? Lost focus, forgotten instructions, and frequent mistakes, not because intelligence is lacking, but because attention keeps getting interrupted. Why hyperactivity happens? Hyperactivity isn't simply having too much energy. Many experts believe movement actually helps regulate brain activity. Fidgeting, tapping fingers, swinging legs, walking while thinking. These behaviors may increase alertness and improve concentration. That's why many students with ADHD focus better while doodling, holding a stress ball, or moving around occasionally. The movement isn't always the problem. Sometimes it's the brain's solution. ADHD isn't about intelligence. One of the biggest myths about ADHD is that people with it are less intelligent. Science clearly says otherwise. ADHD affects attention regulation, not intelligence. People with ADHD can have average, above average, or exceptional IQs. In fact, many scientists, entrepreneurs, artists, engineers, musicians, and athletes have openly discussed living with ADHD. The challenge isn't knowing the answer, it's consistently accessing that knowledge at the right time. Imagine owning one of the fastest sports cars in the world. Now imagine its steering wheel occasionally responds a little later than expected. The engine isn't weak. The vehicle is powerful. It simply requires different handling. That's a useful way to think about many ADHD brains. Can the ADHD brain change? Absolutely. The brain has an incredible ability called neuroplasticity. This means neural connections can strengthen through learning, practice, healthy habits, and appropriate treatment. Depending on individual needs, treatment may include behavioral therapy, organizational strategies, regular physical exercise, adequate sleep, mindfulness techniques, educational accommodations, and for some people, carefully prescribed medication. Many ADHD medications improve dopamine and norepinephrine signaling, allowing attention networks to communicate more effectively. Medication doesn't create intelligence, it simply helps the brain use its existing abilities more efficiently. ADHD strengths. Although ADHD presents real challenges, it can also come with remarkable strengths. Many individuals demonstrate exceptional creativity, innovative problem-solving, high energy, adaptability, curiosity, entrepreneurial thinking, and the ability to think outside conventional patterns. History includes countless innovators who displayed traits consistent with ADHD. Different wiring doesn't automatically mean disadvantage. Sometimes it creates entirely new ways of seeing the world. So, what's actually different about an ADHD brain? It's not broken, it's not lazy, and it's certainly not less intelligent. The differences lie in how the brain develops, how dopamine functions, how attention networks communicate, and how executive control systems manage focus and impulses. Understanding ADHD isn't about labeling people, it's about replacing myths with science. Because when we understand how the brain works, we become better students, better teachers, better parents, and ultimately, better human beings. If you enjoyed this exploration of the human brain and want to discover more fascinating topics about anatomy, neuroscience, and the incredible science behind the human body, make sure to subscribe to Vital Codes. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and remember, every brain tells a different story, and every story is worth understanding.